So you sit in the corner of the warehouse with your familiar, Captain Peanut, and you have a couple of peanuts for him, so he's just sort of nibbling away there. He's getting bored because, he's a squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting still for a long time.
And he senses that I'm fine. I'm not even worried. I'm just waiting for some silly boys to come walk in.
So eventually you hear later in the night, so this is probably right about 1 o'clock in the morning or there's about. So it's been quite a long night so far. It is November in Williamsburg, so very dark. And you hear sounds from outside.
We get some rum and beer, expensive parked in a reindeer, so we're gonna party.
Welcome back to the Marine Conservation Happy Hour. We're going to be continuing our special episodes for the holidays. We're role playing, and I am playing Miss Rose. What was my first name?
Rose O'Malley.
O'Malley, that's right. Rose O'Malley. I was like, wait a minute. Is my last name Rose? No, Rose O'Malley. And Dr. Kraken is the DM.
The dungeon master. Well,
Yes.
actually, technically a game master. Because
Game master.
This isn't
Role-playing.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, we're playing the Sleepy Hollow role-playing game, which is produced by Kids in the Attic. And it's a very nice, simple game in terms of the mechanics.
For the holidays.
And yeah, it's a fun one for the holidays because, that whole sort of era is very, well, of course, Sleepy Hollow. It's all about pumpkins and ghosts.
Yes, exactly. And warm food and cold weather and coziness.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, where we last left off, you were hidden, as in Rose O'Malley was hidden in Major Dunn's warehouse, which has pretty much been looted by these spooky ghosts. So you're huddled in a corner waiting for the ghosts to arrive, and you have put...
But I don't have any suspicion that they're actually ghosts because I've seen the bioluminescence footprints.
Oh, yes. You have totally Velma'd.
Velma, yeah, exactly.
You have figured out that there is something amiss going on here because of the bioluminescent phosphorescence from fungi that you have found. So you've stretched out a rope to do a trap for when they come into the warehouse. So this is where we start the adventure. So you sit in the corner of the warehouse with your familiar, Captain Peanut, and you have a couple of peanuts for him, so he's just sort of nibbling away there. He's getting bored because, he's a squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting still for a long time.
And he senses that I'm fine. I'm not even worried. I'm just waiting for some silly boys to come walk in.
So eventually you hear later in the night, so this is probably right about 1 o'clock in the morning or there's about. So it's been quite a long night so far. It is November in Williamsburg, so very dark. And you hear sounds from outside. You hear a trumping, you hear crashing, and this goes on for a while. And then eventually you hear the sounds coming outside your warehouse, and the doors open, and you see standing there 4 ghostly pirates. I mean, they're glowing in the dark, and they have skulls for faces, and they are standing there with lanterns looking into the warehouse. And one of the ghosts turns to the other and says, "Here, he hasn't replaced any of the goods."
Oh.
Well, it's all right. We've got some from the warehouse next door, so that's fine. We've got plenty.
So we have thieves, basically.
Yeah, we got plenty from next door. Or maybe we bankrupted old Dunn. Serves him right for firing me.
Ooh.
Yeah, the boss will be pleased anyway with tonight's all. Shall we head off to the pub then? Ah, that sounds a good idea.
Yes, I love that. Totally following them to the pub. I am so following them to the pub.
They turn around and just walk out. So you go to the front of the warehouse. Now, of course, you do, in terms of stealth, you could either creep up behind them.
That's exactly what I want to do because I want to grab some bioluminescence evidence while they're walking to the pub.
Well, of course, you can see that they have very clear footprints that they've left in the sort of mud and dust around the front of the warehouse. So you can sneak up behind them. Now, do you have any spells that can help you to sneak?
Other than the fact that I'm a really good cook. Apparently, I'm the best cook in the world. Vegetarian cook, though.
In between adventures, I actually made up a cookbook for Ms. Rose O'Malley.
Oh, yummy!
So I've given Smash a whole bunch of period correct cooking instructions for a variety of different things.
Okay, for everyone that's listening, my spells are animal friendship. That would be something I could use. Maybe like calling in bats and having them distract or
scout for you.
Yeah, exactly. Or circle these guys. My other spell is beast sense.
With beast sense, what you can do is you can see through the eyes of an animal.
Can't I also speak through an animal?
I mean, animal friendship gives you the ability to charm them and to become friendly with them.
I know that, but can't I actually talk?
Talk to the animals like Dr. Doodle?
No, it's almost like a possession where I possess the animal and I can talk through the animal.
This one allows you to almost possess it, but you see through their eyes. So you don't actually control the animal, but you do follow them. But of course, you know, you have your squirrel. So you can tell your squirrel who's been trained to follow, for example. So you can see through the eyes of Captain Peanut if you wish to do that. What other spells do you have?
Bountiful harvest. I don't think I'm going to do that. That'll be something I can do for the apothecary. Yeah.
Yeah, that helps you to sort of grow pumpkins in your pumpkin
exactly.
patch.
And then the forest's embrace. And that is how I can move quietly, right? So I don't like crunch my way through.
That's right. So that helps you to move silently through a natural surrounding. Now you are on the docks at the moment, but
going to the pub, wouldn't we have to go through the forest?
Absolutely. So there will be a trail going through the forest to the pub, assuming that they're not going to one of the sailors' pubs nearby, which, you know, they're going to have to get changed before they go to the pub, clearly.
And then there's the healing touch is my last spell, but obviously I don't want to heal them. So I'm not doing that. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call on some bats. I think it would I want to have some fun with them a little bit. You know what I mean? Have bats swirl around them and freak them out a bit when they get closer to the town.
So there are definitely bats around about these warehouses. And in the forest, there will, of course, also be bats. There'll be roosting bats there. Although, hang on, it's November. So it's cold. They'll be hibernating. There's a flaw in your plan.
Oh, no.
There's a flaw in your plan. They'll all be hidden in hollow logs and hollow trees or in caves.
I don't want to get anything like a big predator because then that would scare off the townsmen. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I just want to, stir up the fake ghosts.
Well, there may be something like you don't know what sort of wildlife that you would encounter in the woods. I mean, there's a variety of different species in this era around. So that, there's a lot more wildlife than there is today. Okay. I mean, in fact, today in the woods of Virginia, there's actually quite a lot of wildlife about, including brown bears, bobcats, and so forth.
I know, but those will scare the townsmen. The whole point is to kind of make a small little chaos where all the townsmen come out and see what's going on. But they're going to freak out when they see a bear or they see a bobcat or they see anything like there's a massive predator. No, that's a bad idea. So I don't know if I want to do a spell.
Well, you can certainly do the spell. I mean, you can follow them to the edge of the dock area, and then you see them. In fact, let's do an agility and stealth roll to see how sneaky you are.
Only one success.
That's enough. You only need one success in this. If you get more than one, that's like getting a critical success. So don't worry about that. So yes, you could definitely sneak behind them, and they're making a reasonable amount of noise, and you see them go to the edge of the docks areas, and you follow them down a path into the woods, and you see that they have a cart that they have been putting their goods into. So they get into the cart, and then they start heading off into
Is
the
this a
woods
manual
along the path.
cart? Like they're manually pulling it?
It's got a big horse on the front of it, but they're not moving very fast because there's barrels and crates on the back.
Okay, well then I can befriend that horse.
To do that, you'd have to go right up next to the horse, and they'll see you, unfortunately. But you can definitely follow because they're not moving terribly fast. In fact, they start opening some bottles of booze as they are traveling,
goodness.
and you hear one say, "Don't drink too much, the boss won't like it."
Boss man, interesting.
Now, an interesting thing about these ghosts, so they are phosphorescent, they are glowing, dressed up as pirates. Well, in fact, these days, pirates will just be dressed like everyday sailors for the regular pirates, apart from maybe the captains who'd be all dressed up in their fancy stuff. Now, ghosts of this era weren't see-through. They were always solid. It wasn't until the Victorians where they started doing illusions on stage, where they had a tilted sheet of glass and they'd have someone underneath the stage all dressed up in white, and then have this see-through transparent reflection being the ghost. So it wasn't until the 1800s that the idea of white transparent see-through ghosts became a thing. And then this became very popular with spiritualism and seances. People would often do this to try and trick people to say that they were ghosts. And then photographers in this era also started doing ghost photography. So they would
Ghost photography, I love that.
So they would, you'd have to have the camera going, and then they'd have someone whip in quickly, dressed as a ghost, and so they'd be slightly fuzzy in the background and look spooky. But before the Victorian era, there weren't such things as transparent ghosts. They always looked solid. They might be glowing, they might be shadowy, but they were solid. Sometimes they didn't have limbs. Very often you would hear stories of ghosts that didn't have legs because they were presumably walking on the historic roads, which were now covered up by modern roads and so on. So sometimes they didn't have feet, sometimes they didn't have legs. But the whole transparent ghost thing that you see in Ghostbusters and ghost stories and blah, 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 it's a Victorian invention.
Neat.
So if you see a transparent see-through ghost, that's how you know it's not actually a real ghost. You've had too much to drink. or you're having a dream.
Neat.
Anyway, so you can use your spell to help blend into the forest and follow them. So you can definitely do that. So you look into your satchel and you take out some of the special things that you need for this. You make yourself a little, like a little shape out of twigs and sticks and twine, and you hang that around your neck, and you follow after these ghostly pirates. And the whole forest seems to subdue the sounds of your footprints, and the shadows seem to cling to you.
Can't I stealthily get closer to their horse?
You can definitely get closer.
Because they are getting drunk and stupid.
They are getting drunk and stupid, but still going right in front of them up to their horse.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it's harder for you to be seen, but you are still trying to be stealthy
Okay.
and hide. So, but you do follow them, and eventually they pull off down a small side track, and you follow them down this side track, and there's an old barn where they stop the cart and start offloading their goods into that barn. At the same time, they start changing out of their clothes. So they remove their glowing clothes, and you see them take off
Ooh,
the skull masks
yes, and
that they were wearing. Now,
and
you see their faces. So let me see. Roll a lore roll.
okay.
So do you know these people?
1-6.
That's enough.
I had more 5s than 6s, but
1-6 is enough. So you do recognize these. These are the Blake boys. There's Josiah, there's Jonas, and Israel Blake. Josiah and Jonas are twins, and Israel's their older brother. And they're infamous for being ne'er-do-wells. And then there is their cousin, Ezra Blake, who, again, is a famous ne'er-do-well and is often in and out of the Williamsburg jail.
oh, fabulous! I love him.
So you do recognize these guys.
Okay. Now, see, I'm trying to think of Rose O'Malley's personality. Because Dr. Scarlet Smash's personality would just go right up to them and confront them right away. So I'm trying to think what she would do. She seems like, I guess she would be loving, tender, and
Nurturing.
nurturing. Yeah.
Definitely nurturing and empathetic.
Right. So I guess she's more understanding that they need money.
Well, she is very good at persuading, for sure. But, these are a bunch of, as we would call them, the local gentry. So they're always in trouble with the law and never do an honest day's work if they can help it.
So basically, I do want to approach them.
It's up to you. You can keep following them because they're heading off to the pub.
Okay, why don't I follow them?
Okay. You surely can.
Oh, wait. Is there a way that I can steal their masks?
Oh, absolutely. As soon as they offload their gear.
But I mean, like, can't I call in birds to steal their mask? Come swoop in and steal them?
Well, you can just go up and grab one, because as soon as they've changed and offloaded their cart, they put the cart and the horse into this barn.
And then I go and steal it.
And they just start heading off towards the pub. So you can just sneak out behind them and take one of their masks. Absolutely.
Yeah, that works. Okay. So I'll do that.
In fact, you can take all of their clothes. If you want to. At least their costumes, their disguises.
Yes, I'm completely taking all of it.
Okay. So you do that. You pop in, you grab a mask, you quickly change, you get a glowing pirate's coat, and you put that on. I say a pirate's coat. It's just a big coat that people would normally wear at this time. And you follow after them as quietly as you possibly can. Now, they have grabbed a bottle of rum, so they've been sort of swigging that backwards and forwards between themselves. And so they are zigzagging down the path, and they're following the road. And you think that they're heading off towards Williamsburg along this path. And sure enough, eventually you come to Williamsburg, and they're heading toward Christina Campbell's tavern at the end of the town. So Christina Campbell's tavern is still there today, although at this period of time, I believe Christina Campbell had retired and had sold on the tavern, but everyone just kept calling it Christina Campbell's tavern. It burnt down in, I believe, the 1800s, and now it's been recreated in colonial Williamsburg, and you can go there and have a nice meal, and in the basement there's a really quite nice little area where there's cozy nook where you can drink your beers and your punches and so on. And if you remember, Smash, this is where we went last time we went to Williamsburg and you found the barmaid.
Yes.
And you just got
My
on like a house
Aries
on fire.
barmaid. Yes, I know. Well, she had the same birthday as I did.
Absolutely,
That
fellow
was just
Aries.
so neat. Yes. And she kept me very, very drunk.
Yeah, she poured you incredibly generous.
Yeah. She
Incredibly
was like,
generous.
well, since you are the same person I am, here. Because I can handle it. That was good. Yes.
So Christina Campbell's is a favorite. Now,
Are we also downstairs in the basement or are we upstairs?
well, at the moment you're just approaching the tavern, but
Okay.
to describe this area, very close to Christina Campbell's is one of the houses where we stayed in, and then across the road you have one of the churches. I think it's the Baptist church as was, and then immediately opposite you have a house that was the brothel. The cat house, the house of ladies of disrepute, and they used to have fun teasing the people coming out of the church. But those are on a little triangle very close to Christina Campbell. So you see these drunken ne'er-do-wells approach the tavern, and sure enough, they go down into the basement. So they're going to have a sneaky drink down there. And you can come in and follow them if you wish, or you can approach them before they get into the tavern.
No, I definitely want to wait until they sit down.
Okay, so they go down into the basement area. So there's some wooden stairs that they head down, and you can follow in afterwards. So now, are you dressed up like a ghost at the moment?
That is kind of cool. But no, I don't want to scare people out. I want everyone to know I want everyone's attention. Full attention. If I come in as a ghost, everyone's going to scream and freak out. And
Absolutely, there are regular customers.
Yes, so I don't want to do that.
Christina Campbell's is quite famous for its seafood, by the way, being so close to the James River, and in particular, oysters and shellfish would be a major source of seafood there, because back in this period, the Chesapeake Bay was absolutely full of reefs of massive oysters, and they described them being the size of a dinner plate. And unfortunately, they were very much dredged out and overfished, so you don't see massive reefs like that today.
Yeah.
And it also meant that the waters of the James River were very clean and clear, because these oysters and these shellfish basically acted like a big filter, getting rid of the sewage and the waste and so on that was being produced by the local people. So the river was much cleaner, as was the Chesapeake Bay, and there was a lot of these shellfish about. And so, could have been a sustainable fishery, but unfortunately, as people do, they just overfish them and completely wrecked the ecosystem. But anyway, back to the tavern. You can head down into the basement of the tavern, and there's just like a big cloud of smoke, because at this period lots of people are smoking tobacco. This is Virginia, after all. They've all got clay pipes and they're smoking on the tobacco, and it's mostly men down in this basement room, and they're playing cards, they're gambling, they're drinking. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to wait until the waitress hands them all a drink, and then I'm going to approach everyone and I'm going to say, I've seen the ghosts.
Okay.
I want to be very loud, boisterous.
Some of the customers here go, "What? You've seen the ghosts? The ghostly pirates?"
And I'm going to say, I need everyone's attention. I'm going to tell you the best story about the ghosts at the dock.
Go ahead. So tell the story. Let's have you roll your dice and see how good your story is.
Okay.
So this is persuasion.
Woo-wee! Oh, I got 3.
3 successes.
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay, so
First time.
everyone is absolutely wrapped by your story as you Do you want to tell a truthful story or an embellished story?
No, I want to tell a true story.
Okay, so you tell a true story.
Mm-hmm.
It may somewhat resemble an episode of Scooby-Doo in terms of its content.
That's exactly what it is.
And you tell them about how you had hidden in the warehouse, you saw the glowing ghosts appear, and you found out that they were in fact not really ghosts, but a bunch of scurvy knaves, a bunch of thieves who were raiding the warehouses in the docks. And you see that the Blake boys are getting very nervous.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very nervous.
And I start to approach them and I pull out their costume. And of course the bioluminescence is dripping, dripping down. I mean, I kind of have a trail of drips.
That's true, yes. Yeah. Bioluminescent smudges all over the place. Okay, the boys look up and go, what? Not us.
Mm-hmm. That's it? That's all they say is not us, not us?
Wasn't me. And then the younger boys just like look at their older brother and then they start trying to run.
Uh-huh.
They peg it. However, customers in this part of the tavern step up and stand in front of them as they're trying to get away. And also the barmaid as well stands there with a pitcher in each hand, looking as if she's about to, smack them over the head.
Yeah, they're definitely. I would love that if she tossed it on them and then smacked them over the head. Yes. They need that.
Someone yells out, "Call Constable Taggart!" And one of the customers rushes out. So, I'll go get him. And, the jailhouse is actually not that far away. You are the far side of the court, and then the jailhouse is really it's only about 5 minutes run away. So someone rushes off, and relatively shortly after, you see a very befuddled chap arrive because it's quite late at night. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know. And yet the pub is very full.
Well, it's basically a lock-in here. So you've got people who are drinking and they're smoking and they're gambling and they're up to all sorts of illegal activity. You notice that a lot of the card games that they were playing have mysteriously vanished and disappeared. And a couple of the customers have slunk off. So there's quite a few less people than there were, but the constable does come in. He is basically wearing his nightshirt tucked into a pair of breeches, and he's quickly put his socks on. He's got a nightcap on his head still and a cloak wrapped around him. And he comes in, "Aye, what's going on here then?"
And I tell him the same story.
Okay, give me a roll. Are you convincing?
Oh, yes, I am. 2 6s.
2 6s. You give a very detailed witness statement. You describe what's happened. You provide the evidence that you have collected. And Taggart just shakes his head. Aye, these Blake boys, they're always in and out of my jail. Aye. This time, you're going to be in there for a long time, boys.
Yes.
And then he calls around to some of the other customers that he sort of deputizes to help grab them and take them along to the jailhouse.
Good.
And he says to you, "Aye, Mistress Rose, if you pop by tomorrow at a decent hour, I'll give you proper thanks, because there is indeed a reward for finding who is behind the robberies of the warehouse."
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'll be there immediately.
So, as the constable and some of the customers of the bar lead the infamous Blake boys off to jail, you're able to sit down in this very smoky room. And the barmaid comes up and pours you a nice big glass of alcoholic punch and says, "Hey, there you go, my dear. On the house."
On the house. I knew it. I was going to say. I was going to say it better be on the house.
And there we end our adventure. You have solved the case of the Williamsburg pirates, and you finish off with a nice
holiday fun.
With a nice glass of holiday punch.
Loved it. So cute. What a cute story.
So, Mistress Rose O'Malley, in this game, what you get now are experience points for having solved the adventure that you can use to improve your skills, or you can use to learn different and more types of magic if you wished. And in fact, for this particular game, there's a great branch of magic called kitchen magic, where you can do magic cooking. So you can make like pies and teas and things like that can help to heal and provide protection. So I think that might be up your alley.
You think I need more protection? Is that something you're trying to tell me?
You can never have too much protection. Spooky ghosts and things like that.
I see a sequel coming. Oh boy.
Or you can improve your skills and increase those. And so Mistress Rose O'Malley can then prepare for her next adventure.
Will it be a Christmas, New Year's adventure?
I do have a Christmas adventure that I have written for you. So,
ooh, I love that you've written it. And you tell such fun stories.
And I actually really went into a big rabbit hole looking up the history of the area and the history of tradition.
Oh, I know you love that.
Settlers and colonists in the area.
I know you loved it.
And I have even written a historically appropriate Christmas tavern menu for you. So
you are something
we will do
Someone
this,
needs to hire
we will have a cozy Christmas mystery. So.
I'm so excited. I hope you all are too. Thank you so much for joining us on these special episodes. I hope that it was fun as much as it was fun for us. Thank you so much for being part of the Marine Conservation Happy Hour community. Hey, Marine Conservation Happy Hour crew, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow us for future episodes. And also refer us. We'd love it. We would also like to hear from you, so please contact us on social media, or you can email us about a topic that you're interested in hearing about. If you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, or you would like us to come visit your science facility and do a live episode, email us at info@absolutelysmashingllc.com. This podcast was edited and produced by Absolutely Smashing. The music is produced by Jolly Shore Leave. Thank you again for listening, and we couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much for being part of the Marine Conservation Happy Hour crew.